What up, peeps? We are back and let's talk Madden 22. And matter of fact, they just released their deep dive for the franchise mode. What can we expect in this franchise mode this year? Last year was not a very good year for franchise. Can we expect something better here in Madden 22? Let's go ahead and break down this video and take a look. Hopefully there's some new additions for us franchise heads that we can sink our teeth into. Let's go ahead and check it out. Now in this deep dive video, they pretty much focus in on 4 different features. So we can expect new franchise staff and staff points, new weekly strategy, dynamic gameplay integration, enhanced season engine, and franchise hub updates. And right off the bat, the first screen that they show is this staff management screen. I like the way this looks. This looks really clean. I like the information that is displayed on here. We have the head coach, the offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, all your personnel. It even breaks down, the scheme, their style. Your head coach, example here, Matt Nagy, West Coast spread. The defensive scheme likes to run that 3-4. Offensive coordinator, single back gun. Defensive scheme for your defensive coordinator, he runs nickel heavy. So this is good information. I like the way this looks. Just to give you that overview of your coaching staff. They also have something really cool here, which is the staff goals. You have score in the first half, offensive coordinator, rush for 75 plus yards. So that's your staff management, but on the second screen is where there's the hire staff page. You can hire your coaches, you can view their talent trees. Has some of the same information that's on the staff management, but this is where you're going to make your decision when you're building out your staff. And then you have the staff move page. It's got a list of all the head coaches, defensive coordinators, offensive coordinators. Another clean page, broken down by position, age, team, status, whether they're hired or fired. Even shows the number of talents that each coach has. So really good information here too. And also here it shows the experience, and I think this is something that wasn't on the staff management or the hiring page, but it shows the experience, also the defensive and offensive playbook. So not just the scheme, but it breaks down and gives you the playbook information as well. Now let's roll into these talent trees, and this is something that I really like. I love RPG elements. So anytime they can implement these in the right way, I love this because, first of all, the way this page is laid out, I think is really nice. So when you look at this, I'm going to use the head coach. Actually, we'll go through them all. But this first one is the head coach. You can upgrade each coach's talent tree. His first node is Secret Remedy. Decreases multi-week injury recovery time. That's really good. That's going to help. That's going to help your players heal faster. It's good to see something like that at the top of that tree. And you want to work your way down. It looks like it's going to take multiple points in some of these nodes in order to fill them out. I am curious at the bottom of this talent tree, like with this node, and this one, what perks can we unlock here? And are they going to be strong perks? Generally in talent trees, that's how it works. So I want to know, is there something OP down here? I want to work my way down to get these unlocked, and what's going to help us along the way. So I really like this, the talent trees and the route they're going with them. And another example with your offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator, it looks like you're going to get that pliability on that first node. Increase injury rating for all offensive players. You want that injury rating high because week in and week out, you know it's going to be tough. So it's good to see something like that at the top. That's very beneficial. And work your way down and get some of those other talents. And when you look at the player personnel, you have the trade discount on older players, so you get a little discount there. Then this other tree is contracts. Curious on what all that entails. Is there something in there that'll give you better negotiation power? Can't wait to hear information on these also. Now in the trailer they stated that there are 60 talents. So that is a really good number of talents. But that's not all. They're going to be adding more down the line. So You're really going to be able to customize and build out your coaching staff, kind of unlocking those talents, building your offensive coordinator the way you want them to be built, your head coach, your defensive coordinator. Now this next screen, this is what everybody's been wanting. Scouting, finally, yes. Scouting is coming to Madden 22 franchise mode, finally, I cannot wait. When you look over here to the right, you have your top prospects. Looks like they even have where they're projected ranked 1, projected ranked 2, got their strengths, their weaknesses. You have your area scout on the job, Ted Davis. He's a tier 1. He gets a 5% efficiency boost when scouting a position. There's some really good information here. I love this page. Just looking at the map, man, I'm ready to start scouting now. So now the only bad thing, this is something that is coming later. This will not make the launch date. They actually stated that the scouting feature will be available in September, so we have to wait just a little while, but it is coming. Hopefully they keep rolling out more features as the year goes on, as far as just more franchise. Give me more franchise elements. Let's go. On this screen is where you do your scout hiring, and I like how everything's laid out here too. You have your tiers, your position expertise, expertise 1 and 2, the number of years of experience. Also have the positions, like got outside linebacker, safety. So it gives you some pretty good information, and for you to make a decision, do you want a scout who's only been in the game 2 years? Do you want that 16-year veteran? This rolls into the scouting assignments. You have your national scout, your area scout. Bill Smith, 12 years experience. He's looking all over the map, trying to find those hidden gems. Ted Davis, we're just going to have him focus mainly on the West Coast, trying to get that West Coast talent. I like how you can assign these different scouts to different areas, and their expertise goes into play, as you can see with Bill Smith. 50% efficiency boost when scouting a position, and you have reassign options as well, so you have some flexibility here. Get your scouts out there in these areas trying to locate and find this talent. This is really nice stuff. The draft prospects page is going to have a list of your prospects. They're going to move up and down depending on their performance, indicated by these arrows. It looks like Tony Smith, he moved up. Jackson Felix struggled a little bit, so he's on the downtrend. Gives you their style of play. Tony Swift, I like that. Tony Swift, he's a scrambler. Got your wide receiver here, Devin Patton. He's really physical, 6'1", 218 pounds. Projected in the top 5. And this is going to be a fun screen, and just this page alone to kind of follow, to see which players slip and which players are rising to the occasion. I think this is going to be fun in itself. Say you identified the top players that you want to take for a private workout. This screen, you will confirm that selection, work them out, see if they're a good fit for your program. Finally, things are starting to get a little deeper, so that's good. And then as the season goes on, you start getting into that mock draft status. Tony Swift is now projected to go to the Bengals, Devin Patton, the Raiders. And that's cool, they're getting into those projections so we can kind of get an idea which team is getting which talent. And this is how you earn your staff points in this weekly team goal selection. You have examples: win by 14 points or more, get 2 touchdowns in the first half. This is how you're going to rack up those staff points. Use these staff points on the talent trees to unlock those perks. You definitely want to reach these milestones. The more milestones, the more goals that you complete, the more points you are going to get. The more points you could spend, the better team, overall team that you're going to build. And this is all work in progress, but it looks like that first talent secret remedy, 10 staff points, which is not really that bad, because if you look here, win by 14 points or more, you're going to get 10. So these are pretty easy to achieve, but the more points, the better. Start completing those goals. And also here, you're going to have to make some decisions. So if you pick Secret Remedy, you can see the bonuses you're going to get For Tier 1, increase XP gains for free safety and strong safety by 10%. The next tier, increase XP gains by 20%. It's also going to warn you by purchasing this talent, the opposite fork becomes unavailable. So you will be totally locked out of this section of the talent tree. Now as we look into the weekly strategy, this is where you're going to study your opponent's strengths and weaknesses. And the way this is laid out is pretty nice too. Example, you have your defensive game plan. If you look here, the inside run defense is pretty strong. The play action off inside run is pretty weak. The bounce to the runs to the outsides are negative as well. And you also get some offensive play calling tendencies. Run 38%, pass 62%, for example. Overall, this is pretty solid. This is going to give you some good information, and this will help your team make adjustments. I mean, you're going to have some positives here that's going to help your team in certain areas, but you see, I mean, you're not going to be able to shut everything down. You're going to have some negatives as well, so this is a nice balance. If you're getting completely destroyed by the run game in the first half, you might want to choose this game plan to try to slow that down, but you're going to be soft in those other areas, so got to be prepared for that. And if you look at the second screen, also this game plan, this is for inside run blocking, but if your blocking inside is on point, your outside is going to struggle because your focus is that inside block. You want to coach your team the best way to victory. And it looks like the next gen stats were incorporated as well. We know these were introduced last year. You also want to manage your team's health and fatigue. You want to make sure that your practices aren't too intense to keep those fatigue levels pretty steady, as well as player reps. That's going to help you manage that fatigue level. And on this screen, it displays overall offensive fatigue 100%. Here's where you adjust your intensity. Like we're going full pads today. But it says select this week's practice intensity for your offense. Choose full pads for the highest player XP and highest boost. However, there are also higher injury chance and less fatigue recovery. So you can kind of roll the dice on that. Maybe you're going up against a team that isn't doing very well. So you're like, you know what? We're not going full pads. You're not going to get much XP, but you kind of be taking, but you could probably lighten that load for the intensity going into that matchup. And then next week, maybe pick it up. I mean, there's all kind of options you can do with this. I like this idea. And the information on this screen is pretty nice. It shows what you're going to get for the game plan boost. Looks like you get a little bit of fatigue, but you get some drill XP, bonus XP. Over here on Hardman, he got injured. He got a knee cartilage tear. So you need to monitor things like that. You don't want to go too ham on your reps or your training. You might start seeing injury. And they shared some extra information on your weekly strategy. Choose a game plan focus on offense and defense each week. Focus will identify the top threat on the opposing team. Focus will utilize next-gen stats and list of pros and cons about how each carries over into gameplay. And the last one, select a new weekly team goal that will reward additional staff points. So this is some pretty cool stuff too. All right, now this rolls into the new season engine, and along with this comes these different scenarios for the coaching staff. And I thought these quotes are pretty interesting. Kingsbury says, he's a quarterback, so the first focus always has to be the passing game. That's where the big damage will come from, and if you focus too much on his legs, you'll get burnt over the top. And it looks like you'll be able to answer some questions as well. The reporter says, Coach, stopping the dynamic dual threat quarterback like Russell Wilson has proven difficult for many teams. Where does the game plan start for a player like him? And then I guess he's just going to reveal the whole game plan, limiting passing. I guess he had to say something. Or maybe he's just trying to throw the other team off and do the opposite. Who knows? And they also stated that they're going to have 35 scenarios that will be added down the line. And one of the examples was an elite quarterback taking maybe just a lower tier wide receiver, enabling that player to have a breakout year. Someone who's been underutilized and just reaches his star potential, which that's pretty neat. I think this will be a lot of fun. Just kind of bring in one of your lower tier players and they break out and start showing out there on the field and making plays. Oh, and we get a breath of fresh air for the franchise hub. Another big improvement. I like how everything is just listed on this hub. We get a lot of good information. You got your activities list and you have your examples here. Player meeting, got players ready to negotiate, scout college players, weekly strategy, upgrade players, manage staff. Then you have your weekly goals, so you know which goals you need to complete. You got your news screen that gives you some information here. You get different reactions. Like this one, you got Charles Davis. Miles Sanders will be a big factor this week for the Eagles. You got your top stories here in the middle. Panthers take on the Bills. Cardinals top the Rams. It's just nice how these screens are laid out. I'm digging this hub. This hub's pretty nice. Also manage your roster, adjust your lineup, even take a look at your team's salaries, look at the injury report. You got the league tab, just a overall look at the schedule, pretty much. And I really like this touch on here. Just the top performers. You have your passing leaders. It's going to show your top 3 rushing leaders, receiving, sack leaders, and you have your members screen that's tied in here too for your online franchise. You have your gamer tags of all your peeps. I think this is definitely moving in the right direction. And that's it, peeps. That is Madden 22 franchise, their deep dive video. Just kind of dissecting that, looking at the different screens, looking at the different features and things that they're adding to Madden 22 franchise. I'm really excited that they at least took an extra step, whether it be a full step, however you guys feel. It's definitely some improvement. Can't wait for the scouting feature to be out in September, and it's almost football season, so that's exciting. It's about that time. Alright peeps, let me know what you think in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. You know what it is. Until next time, Gia.